Hey everyone, Ollie here. So I have the new iPhone SE here, the third generation 2022. This is the midnight color. I thought I'd go through an unboxing and show you around basically. So yeah, they've actually followed the same sort of packaging as the iPhone Pros and stuff, where there is no charger in the box. As you can see from the slim sort of design of the box, there's only a cable and the phone, which is interesting because, to be honest, I think a phone like this is more for people who are just getting their first iPhone, maybe moving over from another platform or whatever. So yeah, I would have thought they would have given a charger, but yeah, anyway. So like I said, this is the midnight color, and as you can see, the midnight color definitely looks a bit blue. Like it's like a very, very navy blue. Definitely has a bit of a blue tinge to it. We'll get the phone out itself. Move it to the side. We have a USB-C to Lightning charging cable. We also have documentation, the SIM card tray pin thing, and then an Apple sticker, a white Apple sticker. Cool. Let's peel it though. Oh, a very satisfying peel. I actually do quite like the size of this. But yeah, this starts at $429 for the 64GB version, but I would actually maybe recommend, if you need the storage that is, I would maybe recommend going up to the 128GB version, which is only $50 extra. But if you don't really need the storage or are happy to use cloud storage, I would recommend cloud storage for photos and videos. Just being able to have your photos and videos backed up is great. Then yeah, 64GB should be fine. The design of it is pretty much the same as the iPhone 8. So yeah, they really haven't changed the design of this. Pretty much follows exactly the same design as that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I don't think it's the best looking iPhone. I still do think the best looking iPhone is the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13. That squared off design looks really good, but it's not bad. You know, as a entry level phone, it makes sense that Apple would go with a familiar and popular design, because obviously it's much cheaper to make as well. This has a 4.7-inch LCD screen. There isn't an OLED screen here like the iPhone 13 Pro. So yeah, it's not going to be as punchy, and it's not going to seem as nice as an OLED screen is. Having an OLED screen is really, really nice, I'm not going to lie. It's definitely just a nice feature to have. A really nice key feature that I do think is worth talking about is that it can now charge up to 50% in 30 minutes. You do have to have the appropriate power brick. So Speedgun have actually sponsored this video. Thanks to them for sponsoring this video. And they have a charging brick which can do exactly that. This is a 27-watt charging brick, and it's puny. It's so small. It's absolutely tiny. Yeah, this can fast charge this iPhone, and yeah, it will do, like I said, 50% in 30 minutes, which is pretty incredible. I've seen other reviews online as well say that you can easily get a day out of this phone with quite moderate to heavy usage, which is really good to see, because iPhone batteries I feel like are getting better and better, which is really good. And it's what you want, you know. iPhone batteries weren't really known to be that great before, but it's really good to see that with all the chip improvements, with the battery improvements, and of course fast charging and things like that, you know, it's just good to see the batteries getting much better. There is also 5G, so if you do have a 5G capable SIM or network or whatever, you can get 5G with this thing, which is pretty crazy really, considering the price of this phone, considering the entry price of it. There's also Touch ID on the front instead of Face ID, and you know what, I actually really like Touch ID. It's one of my favorite features, and I do sort of wish the iPhone 13 Pro and those sorts of phones had Touch ID as well as Face ID, but hey, one can only wish. So yeah, it's cool to see Touch ID here. I think it's really nice to have. There is no MagSafe, but there is wireless charging, and it's also IP67 water and dust resistant, which means you can drop it into a meter deep of water for up to 30 minutes. Pretty good, and something that's actually not that common for phones around this sort of price range. So I wanted to do a quick size comparison of these phones just to show you the difference in size. So we have the iPhone 13 mini here on the left, we have the iPhone SE in the middle, and then we have the iPhone 13 Pro on the right. So this has a 5.4-inch screen, and the iPhone SE has a 4.7-inch screen. And it's interesting because obviously, as you can see, the iPhone 13 mini is smaller in actual size, in dimensions. I mean, it is quite a bit thicker, I think. Yeah, it is a bit thicker, but I think it's just so interesting to see how the screen on this is bigger than the screen on this, even though the phone itself is bigger, just because of how the screen goes from edge to edge. And then the iPhone 13 Pro is a 6.1 inch screen. So we have 5.4 inch, 4.7 inch and 6.1 inch. I think the key feature here though, and one that is definitely worth talking about, is that the iPhone SE has the same chip as the iPhone 13 mini and the iPhone 13 Pro, the A15 Bionic chip, which is Apple's latest chip, which is just incredible to see, to be honest, because that means it basically has the most powerful chip you can get in a phone right now, and it's in an entry-level budget phone, which is just nuts to me, because that also means it should get updates for years to come, which is one of the best things about buying an iPhone. You do get updates for years, and it will keep up with the latest phones like the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 13 mini. Yeah, it's just nuts to see that Apple have put this chip in there. Clearly they're thinking about the future of the iPhone SE. So it's really nice to see it in there. The other thing is with the cameras. So this has a 12 megapixel camera on the back. It is actually the same camera as the previous iPhone SE from 2020, the second generation. Unfortunately, the hardware hasn't been updated, but because it has the new A15 chip, it should actually do a better job of images. The images should be cleaner, should be better, because the A15 chip does a much better job of handling and processing those images. We have a bunch of cases here from Spigen. Again, thanks to them for sponsoring this video. And yeah, they have an array of cases for the new iPhone SE, basically every type of case you can imagine. So we have the Ultra Hybrid 2 here, we have the Liquid Air, and then we have another version of the Ultra Hybrid 2, which is completely transparent, and then we have the Tough Armor. My personal favorite is actually the Liquid Air because of how thin it is, but if you're looking for a super tough case, maybe you're prone to dropping your phone, the Tough Armor is definitely the one to go for. I mean, it's literally like a tank. It's pretty insane. There's even padding inside. This is like a foamy sort of material. It does flex a little bit, which is actually a good thing because it means it can take any sort of bumps and scratches and drops. And there's even a nice little kickstand. So you can set up your phone, put it in there, and set it up as a kickstand, which is pretty neat if you're someone who likes to watch movies, TV shows. Yeah, that's a pretty neat feature to have. If we put the phone in there, a nice snug fit. Yeah, looks pretty awesome apart from the smudgy Apple logo. And obviously you have the cutouts for the cameras and all the buttons and things as well. The next one is the Ultra Hybrid 2, and this is the completely see-through version. And yeah, this is actually pretty thick as well. I feel like this will do a good job of protecting your device. Maybe not as good as the Tough Armor, but the Ultra Hybrid 2 is pretty nice. If you want one where you can actually see the color of your phone, this is a good one to go for. This is pretty much exactly the same. It just has the black bumper around the edges. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much exactly the same cases. But yeah, pretty nice. And obviously because it also has a lip around the edge, if you put your phone flat down, it's not going to scratch the screen, which is again a nice feature to have. And then finally we have the Liquid Air. Like I said, this is my favorite just because of how thin it is, but it's still thick enough where I feel like it's going to do a good job of protecting the device against sort of scrapes and scratches and sort of a light drop, you could say. So if we put that in there, this is much more of a tighter, snug fit. And yeah, I really like this one. I actually really do like this one. Doesn't make the phone feel too bulky. And I'm not really a clumsy person, so I wouldn't personally need something as big and bulky as this, but if you are, I would definitely recommend this. This will do a much better job of protecting your phone from drops and stuff. But if you're someone who likes a sort of minimalist, clean, simple design and doesn't want your phone to be too bulky, this is definitely my favorite, the Liquid Air. So yeah, thanks to Spigen for sponsoring this video. I'll leave links to everything down in the description below. Make sure to check them out. Actually, another product which I nearly forgot to mention from Spigen is the Artfield wireless charger. This is a really nice wireless charger. It has like a rubbery texture on the top and a rubbery texture on the bottom. USB-C port. It does come with a USB-C cable, of course. There's also a status LED on the front, so you know if it's charging or not. And yeah, I feel like this is actually perfect for the iPhone SE. Just the right fit. This is a really nice wireless charger. One of the nicer ones I've seen for sure. But yeah, pretty awesome. So who is the iPhone SE really for? I think this is like the perfect gateway iPhone, you could say. you know, for someone who maybe hasn't had an iPhone before, maybe you're coming from a different platform and you want an iPhone, this is definitely one of the best ones to start with. I also think it's the best iPhone for people who are looking for the best value new phone, basically. So, you know, if you're not looking at refurbished or used, you're looking at a new iPhone, this is definitely the best value. Like $429, £419, that is incredible value for an iPhone, which also has the latest A15 Bionic chip. Like, it's just insane to me. I feel like it's almost too good value, really. It really is that good value, I think. Of course, you're not going to get any of the latest features that you do with the other high-end iPhones, but you know, if you're looking for a budget iPhone, this is definitely the one. I feel like this is the sort of iPhone I'd buy for a parent or a loved one or something who doesn't really care about having the latest and greatest. You know, they just want an iPhone to be able to easily take pictures, to easily call, iMessage, FaceTime, whatever. This is definitely the iPhone I feel like I'd pick up for them, maybe for like my mum and dad or something, or a grandparent or something. I think this is definitely the iPhone to go for. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, thanks to Spigen for sponsoring this video. I'll make sure to leave links to everything down in the description below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.